Welcome everyone to another special episode of Brainstorm Brewery. Yes, we're here. Are we really here? Is this episode 300 that we talked about forever and ever? I mean, you've been through episode 299 point, I don't know how many, but it was a lot of them. It was some good episodes. And you probably don't even know who I am, actually. But, you know, I'm here with my other co-hosts and I think a guest as well. But let's start off. Let's go down the line. The other person you probably haven't heard of before in a long time, or maybe you have, but you heard him sooner than me, but not as often as our
What
guest.
are you? What? What did you just say?
That was perfect. Everything he said made sense.
He's making up for all the lost intros. He just got a rail one off for 3.
I understood every word.
I did too. It was perfect. You're just not synced up, Jason.
It's good to have you back, Marcel.
It's I'm drinking this brewery right here. That's what's getting me good. You can see the picture right there. A nice tart.
Yeah, I don't have the bottle of mine, but I got some monkey shoulder. A little scotch this evening.
I'm not sure my body can handle alcohol before these chips we're eating in about 45 minutes. So I'm just sitting here staring at it.
I've been saving this. This is Shorts Batch 8000. This is gonna mess me up.
This is going to be a rough night, everybody.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be the worst night of my life.
I can't wait to watch this. So we're technologically stupid, and they couldn't figure out how to get it so we can all watch each other.
That's true.
So we don't get to watch this live.
We figured it out.
So I just get to hear all the choking noises.
Put in the work.
Well,
yeah,
that's fine too. It's pretty much the same thing. Either way, technology is not our friend. So we get to watch this later on for the first time too, and actually see reactions. But tonight we get to at least hear each other's misery, and by each other's I mean the three of them.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anybody.
And honestly,
go ahead.
Technology is on the side of Ryan today. He actually troubleshooted me logging on to OBS, and he did it within less than a minute.
One thing he didn't do was He definitely didn't troubleshoot it. He troubleshooted it.
There you go.
Yep.
Troubleshot it.
Troubleshot it.
You have the second worst grammar on the podcast.
I'm a professional writer.
I know.
And editor. Anyways, this is it, everybody. This is episode 300, part 1. We've got Ryan and Marcel back on. So we hopefully got some old people here. So in that case, hey, that's Corbin, DJ, and Jason from the last 100 or so episodes. But 300, we wanted to make a big deal. We just got done recording 200. You'll be able to hear that pretty soon. And we wanted to bring everyone back on for 300 here. And we're eating these chips. So we're going to have a pretty fun episode tonight and then hopefully not die.
I mean, I'm not going to die. I think I'm going to wish that I would die.
Yeah, well, that's, yeah.
So what are these chips? I've never heard about them.
You don't know about the one chip challenge, bro?
I do not.
Oh my gosh! All right, I'm holding it up to the TV here for everyone else at home. This is the Paqui. I don't know. I don't know how you say it. Tortilla chips. It says inside one deadly chip. Carolina Reaper Madness, Deadly Heat, the one chip challenge. This was a big deal that went around a few years ago. And they were doing it, it's on news stations and stuff like that. The idea is you give people these chips, and oftentimes this would be something that a producer would do, and the talent on air didn't know about. They just ate a chip, and they don't understand that it's just not a spicy chip. It's not a hot food. It is a Carolina Reaper chip that's like 8 trillion Scoville units or whatever that means. That's apparently the hotness scale. But this is a big deal that people were, doing the challenge, like all these stupid challenges that people do and the kids and the hip kids do or whatever. We want to be like that. So we made it a Patreon goal.
Instead of raising money for ALS research, we were raising money for our own Patreon.
Yeah. Patreon hit the goal we set for it a while back that we literally never thought we would hit. And now we are doing these chips as a result.
This is like Jason having to do the Guy Fieri.
Yeah.
Right.
I thought we'd never get to 500. Now we're at 1,500.
It's worth noting that the only Patreon goals that we consistently hit are the masochistic ones.
That's true. Like when Jason did that, it shot up because people just wanted to see it happen.
Yeah.
And then it went way back down after it happened, which is fine. I mean, it's not like we're stressing about it one way or another. But then we did these chips. So we were like, okay, we learned our lesson. We're not going to let this thing hit 1,500 for one day and then commit to it. So we waited till it stayed at 1,500 for an entire month. And somehow since we bought these chips a couple weeks ago, and we've been there for more than a month, and we got more patrons, and we're still above 1,500. So we just have no excuse but to do these now.
We got to do it. It's going to kill us.
This is fantastic.
We've been spending all day. We've been legitimately strategizing about how to do this.
I haven't. I just said
got the milk on hand. You texted me and said you were getting ice cream.
So
how? That was 20 minutes.
I consulted some friends of mine who are, I guess I would say connoisseurs of spicy food, and they gave me some hot tips for the hot tips.
What are the hot tips, DJ? Share with the listeners.
You get out of here. I wish I could punch you right in the throat.
I knew he was going to be angry about that.
I was trying to let it go, man. You can't acknowledge it.
That was so bad.
No,
you can't even acknowledge it. What are the hot tips,
7
DJ?
a.m. on the Fox Channel 8. You're interviewing some lady whose kitten got stuck in a tree, and then we're going to do the hot chip challenge with the producer. Summertime's here. We got some hot tips.
I'm asking for a friend, DJ. What are the tips?
First, you have to consume at least 6 pounds of Buffalo Wild Wings per week to prepare yourself. So
I'm in. Done. Easy.
That's all the preparation you need.
All right. I'll eat it now. I'm ready.
Your tactics. On one note, though, I did receive a message from a local friend of mine who is also a fan of the podcast, and he said that he will buy me Fogo if I can at least make it convincing enough that it appears that I have survived the chip better than you, Corbin.
Oh, I see.
So there's a standing offer on the table from a friend of mine who is also a Patreon supporter who says he will buy me Fogo if I can brave the storm and make it. I don't have to actually.
So what? Here's a question. What is your guys' tolerance for heat?
Zero.
Where are you at?
I eat Buffalo Wild Wings.
What do you mean zero? Like what can you?
I'm the guy that walks into
have?
Taco Bell and asks for can you like scrape the sauce off the meat? Like that's.
Oh wow!
I can't wait to
you're
watch.
in
I like
trouble,
Cholula.
What about you?
He's gonna die.
I know.
No,
Yeah.
do you have
Corbin eats
your
hot
phone ready
wings
with
at Buffalo
911
Wild
dialed?
Wings.
I have zero tolerance for spicy food.
Oh, this is gonna be great for you.
Is your
It's
wife
gonna be
ready to
insane.
call an ambulance? Because that may be what the result of this is.
Yeah,
No, it's not.
Corbin's
I
gotta
eat
be prepared,
B-dubs,
'cause that Buffalo,
man.
yeah, Buffalo Wild Wings hot is hotter than I would like Wild Wings.
I used to get the blazing wings just for fun. I think I'll be okay. We'll see.
I'm
a little
the
worried about
spiciest thing
DJ.
I eat is sriracha.
Really?
Like,
See, I don't know
I
what
don't
that
know.
means.
That's me. That's my tolerance for pain. Is sriracha is like the upper limit.
Oh,
Past
man.
that, I kind of don't. It's not as comfortable for me. I could
so-
do it, but I don't like it. But sriracha is like my perfect heat for tolerance level and flavor and everything. It's like
This is
there.
oddly the second time in 1 week I've watched some sort of spicy challenge. Last night
What
was my
was
buddy's
it?
birthday.
I put
And
Cholula on
they,
everything. I might be okay.
Yeah, well, last night we were over at my buddy's place for his birthday, and they bought all the sauces for Hot Ones. If you guys have watched that on YouTube,
Yeah.
so they do like a live interview, and they do 8 different wings, and they do different grades of hot sauce all the way up to extremely spicy. You really would never actually eat this except for a prank, and the reaction. There's actually a video on YouTube. I should get the link and put on here, but the reactions of the last wing were pretty good. But I'm excited to see 2 times in 2 days. So we'll see how you guys fare versus them.
Some people, like Kyle Kinane, just murdered him. He went back for seconds on the hottest sauce.
Yeah, some people can, and some people I think it was DJ Khaled was out on the 3rd one.
Yeah, it's like
See,
he pretended the wings were pussy and didn't eat them.
Is that some sort of pop culture reference I don't get?
Yes.
yeah,
Okay.
Even I know that one. Come on,
got
Corbin.
roasted.
Just checking. I don't even know what a DJ Khaled is.
You're lying. There's no way, because he announces himself on every song, and there's no way you haven't heard a song.
I mean,
But he hasn't announced himself on any country songs.
He
Yeah.
probably has, to be fair. I mean,
He's dating Taylor Swift right now.
don't mess with me like that. Do not go there.
what? What's wrong? His
This
soft spot, Corbin?
That's her boo. What are you talking about, Corbin? You should know this.
I'm looking it up right now. Don't you
That's your
fuck with me.
competition.
Yeah,
That's your competition.
That is my one, man.
and plus he doesn't go down on her, so you got something to offer.
But that's,
Does he, though? We don't know that Corbin does either, to be fair.
it doesn't say that they're a couple.
Oh, you're looking. That's fake news. You're looking at the wrong website.
See, I wasn't 100%.
DJ Gullible.
But I was in the 95 percentile. Corbin just dove right in. He was.
There's no way. I have to know, man.
It hit a sore spot. Taylor Swift. Don't mess with her. You already
Look. I'm just so disappointed in her most recent album. But you know what? I'm over it. I'm over it. Wait.
How do you feel about Kanye then?
Oh my God.
How do you feel about the whole Kanye thing? If you're really that big a fan of T Swift.
You're really that old, Ryan? You just that reference is so dated, bro.
I mean,
But yeah, how do you feel about that?
But it just
I'm wondering.
keeps going, right? It's not like a dead thing. Like it keeps going.
You know
Fun-
that she was in on the publicity stunt.
She was not in on the publicity stunt.
Oh yes, she was.
She was not in on the publicity. No, she wasn't, bro.
I'm pretty sure she was.
Yeah.
You think she was in?
This podcast? What?
Wait.
This is
You
pop culture.
you think she was in on the MTV Movie Awards thing or the VMAs or whatever
I think
it was?
the beef between them and making money off of like calling each other out online and stuff and all the new followers and
They
all
probably worked it out between them beforehand for publicity.
that. Exactly.
Yeah.
What I know is that she
Corbin's trying to no sir that.
she did not know that he was going to call her a bitch. That was messed up.
Was it though?
Didn't she drop an album on the anniversary of his
He
mom's
said-
death or something?
Yeah,
That was
she
pretty
did.
cool, dude.
I think
Yeah.
she agreed that she said that I had sex with Taylor Swift and that was part of the lyrics that he used.
Yes, his lyrics.
No problem with that.
No, the lyrics were something about how he made that bitch famous.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not okay.
That's the whole
He
song.
said some about I had sex with Taylor Swift and I made the bitch famous.
Yeah, and she did not know that was gonna. And then him and Kim.
Maybe not the word bitch, but
Right,
where
exactly.
are we going with this? Why are we doing this?
You did it, man. You asked me. People asked me about it.
This is our crown. This is our crown jewel right here.
I can't wait for the fucking chip.
This is the best of the podcast.
Chip, take
Can't
it
wait.
away.
The sweet kiss of death.
That's what happens
Now
when
we
you
know
bring
how
us
you guys
back,
feel when I
man.
talk about Mighty Ducks movies.
Yeah,
everyone's
the
in-
same thing.
Everyone's into Mighty Ducks, bro.
No.
Yeah, wait.
That crosses all the lines.
I've never seen that movie, Corbin.
Marcel, you didn't like when they went down to the
Yeah,
hood to learn
'cause-
how to play schoolyard puck? You didn't like that?
Wait.
Wait, DJ wasn't born yet when
DJ's never seen the movies. Which Mighty Ducks character is he?
What's the nerdy little one with glasses?
He's the
Who looks afraid
Danny
to get hit with the
Tamborelli's
puck.
character from Mighty Ducks 1.
The guy who's no longer on the team in D2.
Yeah,
That's who I was gonna say too.
Oh, now I need to see a picture of this.
Oh, that's so good.
yeah,
That's
Danny
exactly.
Tamborelli was too famous for Mighty Ducks 2.
That is exactly who I was thinking of, Jason.
We got you good, DJ.
Oh man, you got buddy.
You cake eater.
We've really devolved.
Quack, 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 quack.
Real talk though, DJ actually wasn't alive when this movie came out.
No.
When did it
No, I
come
What
know.
out?
about D2?
Was it-
D3? Was he alive for
Oh.
D3?
He was in
shit.
life for D3 for
Oh
sure.
shit! This does look like DJ.
No. Yeah, no, I would like.
Guys, the Mighty Ducks
Now I
has an
gotta look this
18% Rotten Tomatoes score.
Here, I'm gonna put this on
88,
my.
is that what you said?
18%.
No, that movie was so good.
It's so low. That's insane.
So low. It's
Wait,
because
wait,
people
wait,
like
when did
Roger
movies come
Ebert
out?
because
had
people
to go
like-
see it. And
I
he's
think
like,
it's
I don't
because
care
people
for
like
this.
DJ like watch it now and are like, this doesn't make any sense, and then vote it down.
Well, if they're like me, they just don't watch it.
Maybe critics really cared about the rules of hockey. They're like, there's no 2 minutes for roping.
That's D2, bro. That's D2.
This does look like him. If you got
About
if you gain some weight, DJ, he would look like you now too. To be fair, like if you could grow facial hair at all, you could look like this guy.
I'm about to put this on screen. I got my TV in the background. I'm about to share this with the listeners somehow.
Okay, so we always bring up Mighty Ducks, but we do have Mighty Ducks news because the guy who was Goldberg got
Oh,
a
no.
DUI or something, and they showed his mugshot, and he looks
Oh,
not
my
good.
God.
Wait, really?
Hell of a drug.
Oh,
I didn't know this.
he's done some hard drugs and has
Sean Weiss? All right.
I think it sounds right. Yeah.
So I know I have some insight. My friend Holly out in LA.
Oh, this just happened.
He runs a comedy show at the Belly Room, and he said that guy kept trying to show up and do time, and he smelled like he did meth, like he smelled like pee and failure. And he's trying to be a stand-up comic now. I love that.
This guy looks so sad.
I know.
He is sad. He got arrested.
Have you seen this mugshot?
Wait, what's his name?
Yes.
His name is Sean Weiss, and his mugshot is so sad. He looks like a 60-year-old homeless guy.
He looked much better when he was tricking Julie the Cat Gaffney into eating too many carbs so she wouldn't be able to start.
Agreed.
University. Goldberg.
Oh, wow. This article on People, this is where I found it. It has a picture of him, and it says, Sean Weiss in the Mighty Ducks. Only it's a picture from D2. This is journalism.
No one remembers D1, man.
No one has journalistic integrity anymore.
It was the better movie, for sure.
D2 or D1?
No, D1. It was
it's a better movie, but D2
was more popular.
Yeah, well, because that's your kids, and you're just like, Team USA, and then they're like, Team USA Mighty Ducks, and you just like, it's just way more inspiring.
Yeah, well, and if you don't watch D1 first, you have to worry about how these kids who couldn't skate at all become national champions. So,
you know how they would pick the national team? They're like, yeah, wow, you won some Minnesota tournament? Cool. The USA team is Adam Banks, and then the rest of you just go back to Minnesota.
Yeah, that's right.
Like, we'll take Adam Banks. He's good at hockey. He can be.
Wow, this dude's life went downhill.
Yeah, well,
behaving erratically with flashlights, apparently.
I didn't even read the
Mighty
I
Ducks
just looked at the
movies, how
picture.
can your life possibly not go down from that? Like, you peak.
That's true. If I was at the Junior Goodwill Games, my life would have peaked as well.
I mean, he was representing the United States, and then that victory at the Junior Goodwill Games got him ready to scrimmage varsity.
Yep.
So
anyways, yeah, go ahead.
What about some breaking bulk?
Yeah.
That is
Marcel and I.
a rough segue. Whoa.
That's how you can see that
Why he's breaking his life with crack rocks. Breaks a bulk.
You can see where I learned my transition skills from, because Marcel and I were both at that moment going to say, "Let's do breaking bulk."
That's rough.
Who wants to go first?
Breaking bulk time. Breaking bulk time. Break.
Oh, yeah, breaking bulk. There's so much good stuff.
It's a pick. Breaking bulk. The end.
I can go, I suppose.
Okay.
This is a rare that was in a Commander set. So actually, Commander 2013, in fact. You get these in bulk just because it's not a sexy standout card, but it's actually a little bit over $1 on a few sites, and I think this has potential because I think it's going to be played in the Amanatu deck, and the fact that the supply on this is bound to be low because everyone bulked these out. I think this has got room to go, and don't sell these for a dime. They're closer to $1. It's a white rare from Commander 2013.
Active Authority.
What? Shut up, DJ. Am I screen sharing? How did you get that in 2 seconds?
I just got super lucky, dude. I have no idea what any Magic cards are worth. What is this podcast again?
Okay. Active Authority.
Wow, he really laid down the law there, Jason.
I mean, I told him it was Amanatu relevant. So Active Authority.
Active Authority is
exile
good.
An artifact or enchantment when it comes into play, and then beginning your upkeep, you can exile an artifact or enchantment, and then the controller gains control of Active Authority. So it's a pretty sweet card.
Passes around and blows everything up.
Yeah. So it's pretty cool, and I get these in bulk, and these are 10 times what a bulk rare is worth. So
it can target itself, right?
I think it's opponent controls.
No, it doesn't. It just says
target artifact.
So, like, if you give it to somebody and they want to get rid of it, they can.
Interesting.
Very cool. So, yep, those are not bulk.
Yep. All right, I got one for you guys. This one should probably be pretty easy too.
That's, I think, the first rare I've done in like a year. I don't feel like I'm a cheater.
This is a recently spiked card. It's always been worth money, but it's recently become worth a lot of
money. Why are you talking about it after it spiked?
This Corbin. What else?
This is breaking bulk.
It's Road of Geth.
This is breaking bulk. This is not a pick of the week. I'm just letting people know.
All right.
Okay.
It's a planar chaos. It's a planar chaos blue uncommon. It's been reprinted once.
Blue uncommon.
Yeah,
Pongify?
it is Pongify.
Oh.
I said it'd be
I was
easy.
thinking Reality Acid.
No, Pongify was also
I
in
love Reality Acid.
Pongify was in Commander 2014 as well, and this card is actually market price $3.50.
Yeah.
This card's actually insanely expensive.
I sell
Like,
this card so often on TCG Player.
Yeah, there's some pretty
I mean,
cool modern
it's
decks.
It's the Swords of Plowshares in blue.
Yeah, it's also there's also a modern deck floating around, and this is not a driver of the price in all likelihood, but where you play a bunch of Undying creatures, and then you Pongify and Rapid Hybridization them, and you just upgrade like a Young Wolf into a 2/2, and you also get a 3/3. It's just a pretty funny little deck. But I don't know if that has anything to do with the fact that it's climbed up pretty steadily over the past year or not. But yeah, it's above $3 for an uncommon that you can also pull out of Commander Bulk.
Well, that's Commander 2014. That was quite a long time ago. So.
Yep.
And that deck has what? It's got the Teferi, which is the most expensive Planeswalker, and it's got Cyclonic Rift. Like that's
it's a good deck.
I was gonna say like 6 months or so ago when they were doing all those eBay deals, I had a line on a specific seller who would ship the decks not in their original packaging. They would just like strip it of everything and sell it in the saran wrap, just the actual deck. And so I used the eBay coupons to like buy a shit ton of the Teferi and Deretti decks for like under buy list at cost with the eBay coupon. So you'd get like the Teferi deck for $24, and you got Teferi, Cyclonic Rift, Pongify, Rapid Hybridization, Caged Sun, the Emblem, Sky Diamond, yada yada yada. And
yeah, by the way, this Commander set is lit, right? I'm looking at this, the just all of them. Containment Priest, Wormcoil, Teferi, Gookol or Gisa, whatever it is. It's $16.
Yeah, you get Grave Titan. You get
2014 was nuts, man.
Yeah, Titania, Psych Rift, Freyalise, Cage Sun, all the medallions.
The black one's lousy with $2 rares. There's nothing like fantastic except for the Giza, but like
it has Grave Titan in it, dude.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah, that's $10 now.
That's my favorite part about looking through a collection through a binder is you see the Commander rares that they have in there, and you can tell the Commander decks they bought, and you know when you get their bulk afterwards that you're getting those Commander decks, and then you're getting all these commons, uncommons. You can gauge just from what you actually pay on the good cards in those decks exactly how much extra value you're getting in that bulk because it's all there
for sure.
Yep. All right, DJ, what do you got?
My turn?
Or Ryan? Ryan, go ahead.
All right. Well, since you're gonna say my first one's cheating, this is a common from Mercadian Masks.
Whoa, did we say your first one was cheating?
We said
we're going to.
What is it?
I'm gonna use it. I'm gonna use it for my pick of the week anyway. So
we weren't doing pick of the week.
Well, we are now.
Okay.
Suck it, Corbin.
Okay. Got me.
New shit is.
But this was more likely to be in bulk anyway, because Fallen Empires is not in bulk very often. So anymore.
Ooh, was it him to Torok?
No, it's Night Soil.
Nope.
Oh, Elvish Farmer.
Keep going.
Is it a Sapperling card?
Nope.
Okay.
I don't care.
It's Rainbow Veil.
Rainbow Veil, everybody knows that card's like right?
Well, that's the thing is like you still get them in bulk all the time. You just need to.
Disagree.
You absolutely have to know that card is there.
I don't think any.
I mean, nobody knows from Fallen Empires what is rare and what is not in those sets.
Yeah, but no one has Fallen Empire, so like doesn't matter.
That's a good point.
I mean, and again, this comes from me not having picked bulk anytime recently. That's why I chose the second card, which is the.
All right, well let's figure out this.
What you're supposed to be actually guessing.
All right.
Did you get Fallen Empire packs for like damn near MSRP still?
No, not anymore. No,
MSRP in the year 1998.
Yeah.
I found a bunch of these at the LGS. That was tight.
All right, I'm gonna go with.
What's the rest of the stuff about this masked card?
Yeah. What's the color? What's the?
It doesn't have a color.
It doesn't have a color.
From Arcadian Masks?
Yes.
Well, I have no idea. Then.
Is it a basic land, you idiot?
It's not a basic land.
Is it a sort of insert card?
No, it's a card that you will open in packs regularly. Okay. It is a common in the set.
All right. Well, since it's impossible to guess, I'm going to cheat and look it up.
How is it impossible to guess?
Because, man, I only know a couple cards from that set, and they all have colors on them.
You already said the card type.
So is it not an artifact?
It's a land.
It's not an artifact. It is a land. There you go.
Ugh.
It's got depletion counters.
Magistrate's Tower?
No.
It's got depletion counters.
Oh, it's a common.
It's Peat Bog.
I'm thinking.
Surprising Scary.
No, I heard it.
It's Peat Bog.
There you go.
I told you. I cheated and I looked it up because it was unguessable.
I just
But why
don't know
is
I don't know the
Peabog more
names
than
of
the
the
other
depletion
four?
lands.
That is a good question. Peabog is $2. Why are the others not worth anything?
Get Rug Monster?
Plausible.
Because I legitimately was going through a bunch of this crap the other day. Cards like this, depletion counter lands. I just threw them all in the bulk box at the store. So it's possible I missed a Peabog. I certainly didn't know about it. It spiked very, very recently. It spiked in July of this year.
Well, didn't Get Rock just jumped, right? So I think
No,
that is
That's right.
Get Rug was
That's right.
forever ago.
Don't mind me just
Peabog
coming on
is
your
in
finance show,
Atraxa,
showing you how
but
finance
Yeah, but
works.
what Marcel's saying is Gitrog jumped up when they
Get Rock,
announced the
card
commander
recently
deck.
jumped up.
Yeah, I think it just
Yeah.
recently just spiked.
Yeah,
It's
because
like $8 now.
Yeah.
because of the land's commander deck. So
How do I-
Muldrotha.
yeah, no, Gitrog's
I bet
great now.
Muldrotha did this. 'Cause that's
It
the
was
only
whatever the new.
recent.
It was whatever the new commander was. There's
with
something
Lord
to do with
Windgrace, the Jund deck.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm
it just
surprised. I would
happened
be
at that
surprised that
GP.
the black one's pulling away from the green one under any circumstances. Because Peatbog's only in 200 more decks than Surprise and Scary on
Sure.
EA track. So
I mean, then maybe Surprise and Scary is a good pick as well. I don't think it's to say that Peatbog is bad. I think you just have to start
Hickory
looking at some
Woodlot
of
is
it.
actually in more decks than Peatbog.
interesting.
Sure. So you should be picking all of them up. I mean, go and look on.
I guess so.
I mean, I don't. bulk
More
out
power to whoever goes through the
any
bulk of the
non-basic
store.
lands ever.
Yeah, I don't know either. Like, especially things like this. Like, they're always going to be useful for something.
Yeah.
Speaking of
Alright,
non-basic lands, let me get Scalding Tarn for cheap.
well.
Oh, Wizards,
Marcel,
just
weren't
do
they
it.
$12
Just do
when
it.
they
It
were
wouldn't be a
printing
Marcel
cons and-
episode without
No.
complaining about reprints.
Hey man, I'm in. Let's do it. Complaining about reprints is the best. It's always fun. There's always something to complain about.
Yep.
That was the best part of Commander 2018. Is the cards they did reprint, people complain about how they're $8, but if they didn't reprint them, they'd be $30. So then they complained about the cards they didn't reprint that became $30. It's perfect.
And they complain
You
that
know
the
what?
foils are curly and that the presidents are bad.
They should have reprinted dual lands in there, and like they really fucked up by not taking this opportunity to print dual lands.
Why not a snow-covered duel? That gets around the reserve list.
Exactly. Jeez. See, Jason,
Did it.
finally an EDH
Yeah.
player that gets it.
Yeah, finally you guys are on the same page with it.
Man.
All
Took a
right.
while.
All right, Marcel, you got a breaking bulk for us?
No, I don't. I don't do breaking bulk. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you just got schooled.
All right, DJ, we'll let the guests go. Go ahead, man.
Rise of the Eldrazi, colorless, uncommon.
Uncommon.
Skittering Invasion.
Wrong.
The Warping Whale.
That's from
Not of this world.
What is it? It's
Is
like,
that uncommon?
Yeah, Corbin got it. It's not that.
Not of this world. I did it.
World's common, isn't it?
I was trying to say
It's an
all of them. No,
uncommon.
it's uncommon for sure. It's only
I
been
did
30
it.
months.
Damns it.
I did it, everybody. I did it.
Is that the counter spell?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, it's the 7 mana.
I did it.
Targeting
I thought
one of
that
your
was
big
common.
duders.
I knew that one.
Wow,
that'd be
Corbin, you
miserable
knew
if
a
that was
card one
common.
time.
It's crazy when you guys do sets. When you pick sets that are from years I played Magic, I can do it. You pick cards from 1998, I can't.
But I can do
Oh.
it. I didn't.
Yeah,
Right,
because
anyway,
you have
man,
no child.
I heard you typing just as a reflex.
Yeah.
No, I was
Talking
typing in the
about-
spreadsheet the pick.
I looked it up that quickly.
Hey man, you're good at cheating. Like
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I think.
Anyways,
He has a machine learning bot going on right now that's listening to your conversation in real time, and then it does it automatically.
Yeah.
Corbin
So he
doesn't have
to
anything to do with technology.
and then it gives us the first page of the script of the first page Brainstorm Brewery episode. I don't know if you guys heard that, but Sam Rissick Studies did that for us, and it was incredible.
Oh, the bot one, yes. That was
Yeah,
great.
just Ryan is asleep.
Wait, what now?
So you know that meme going around where people were like, I had a machine analyze 100 episodes of whatever,
Yeah.
and it wrote a script. This is the first page of it. Well, he did one for Brainstorm Brewery, and the best part of it was just Ryan is asleep, or like Ryan is snoring or something.
Excellent.
It was great. It was great.
I'm assuming there was an ice cream bowl involved.
Yeah, there was.
I think there was. Yeah, I think there was definitely an
There
ice cream
was.
bowl or a bowl of some type there.
Oh, there's gonna be more ice cream later when we do these chips.
Oh, there's gonna be a bowl of some kind.
All right, let's talk
Speaking of
about.
Squatty Potty.
Oh man, speaking of Squatty Potty,
Speaking of Squatty Potty, are they still paying us money?
I don't think so. I'm also I'll see if our link's still live. I might have forgot to email them and find out if they still wanted anything to do with us.
Hey, maybe they still want something to do with us, and if they do, Go to squattypotty.com/BSB. But if not, we're going to get a different sponsor. Probably Purple Mattress, just because I have a shitty mattress. And if we could trick Purple Mattress into thinking that we have enough listeners, they send us a mattress each, and then they're like, hey, nobody use our affiliate link. I'm like, yeah, nobody wants to spend $2,000 on a mattress.
Guys, our coupon code still works.
You
The
should
coupon
spend
code for
$5,000 on a mattress, though.
the coupon code still works for Squatty Potty.
Wait. Did you say coupon code? Coupon code?
Coupon?
Coupon. That's what Corbin said. Coupon.
I think I say coupon. I think I say closer to coupon than coupon.
I say coupon.
It's coupon.
Coupon.
Now I don't remember.
It's like we're all from different parts of the country. That's so crazy.
No, I say coupon.
No,
for sure.
really?
Whoa. So, no, actually, since the Squatty Potty thing, trying to get really random, obscure sponsors has become like this new pastime of ours.
Except
we
we
just
just forget to
doing it,
email
Corbin.
them about our obscure sponsorship.
Well, we already
bullshit.
did that, man. Squatty Potty's old news now, although you should go buy a Squatty Potty. But now we need a new obscure sponsor.
SquattyPotty.com/BSB. We bought a bunch. We're going to be giving them away to some lucky listeners. I have one for every turlet in my house, and I got to tell you, my daughter uses the Squatty Potty as a stool to step up onto her little potty insert that we put on top of the toilet. So Squatty Potty has actually helped me potty train my daughter. So that was an unintended consequence of having Squatty Potties. I didn't realize she would use it as a stepping stool, but that is just additional value.
Yep.
So
All about
that's
that
the thing.
EV on this podcast.
So I got a question for you guys.
Okay.
So Squatty Potty, they charge $5 for shipping.
Sure.
And if you had Prime, you could get it on Amazon and then for $5 cheaper. So why should someone overpay for a Squatty Potty from your affiliate?
Well, we don't need these kind of hard-hitting questions on this
Well, you see,
podcast,
Marcel,
sir.
some people don't want to contribute to the Patreon for whatever reason, but if they have a tangible way to help our podcast and get something they were already going to get, maybe that overpayment is a $5 tip that they're donating to our tip jar.
Also,
And that
maybe
is
some
just a
people
way-
don't want to contribute
Well
to
put.
Jeff Bezos' diamond-encrusted toilet.
Yeah. Jeff Bezos is
Yeah,
going to explore
exactly.
space because he's actively eroding this planet. So if someone doesn't want to give us any money at all and they want to support this podcast, all they need to do is go to youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery and go ahead and find our YouTube channel there and click like, subscribe.
Wait. Finger
and then
blast, you mean? Not like...
Oh, no. They click like and subscribe. The bell icon, though, that seductive little bell icon.
Oh, okay.
Seductive little bell icon. Yep.
The bell of the
That's-
ball over there.
That's what it is.
You need to court that. You need to move your mouse coyly around the page
Wow.
until it looks like the bell icon is beckoning you over, and then you just finger blast the bejesus out of
That's
that.
what you
That'll
do.
notify you when we put up a new Brainstorm Brewery episode or a new Brain Bite, which is a thing that we are going to continue
It's
doing.
true.
Those are
I recorded one
non-episode
last week.
YouTube videos that we talk about all kinds of subjects, ranging from like how to use EDH Rec to how to ship. Basically anything we feel like we're experts in.
I'm going to
we're
record my
give you
brain
guys
bite
videos.
tomorrow after the whole mouth recovery thing.
TJ's doing his part. So yeah, go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery or youtube.com/Brainstorm Brewery or even squattypotty.com/BSB.
Would you
All
like...
kind of ways to support our podcast for between $0 and $40. So thank you so much for being our listener, and thank you so much if you're a patron or a supporter or just someone that sends us emails every once in a while. We really
Would you like to know more?
So I remember I texted you guys, and I was like, you should do a segment for Squatty Potty where you guys shit on a card. How about we do that for this episode?
I'm in. What are we shitting on?
We are
I'll start it off.
on the most overrated card ever.
I'm ready.
Vedalken Orrery.
Why's that?
Nope.
Agree that it's overrated, but I don't think that it is. Like, I think in the right deck, it's just as powerful as.
I think there is a bunch of cards that Wizards got the memo that they were good in EDH in 2012 and they still think are staples. Can someone tell people at Wizards that we don't need any more duplicates, solemn simulacrums, or oh god, what's the other one? There's whatever.
Mind's Eye.
Mind's Eye. That's exactly.
Mind's Eye is pretty bad now, but
they were really good in 2011. You know.
Well, I think at least with clones, you can make the argument that when people build them out of the box or whatever, it leads to fun moments.
I think Orrery is very good in specific decks, but I do think that decks with zero instant speed interaction shouldn't play it, and I think that decks with mostly instant speed interaction shouldn't play it. I think there's a fine line that you have to draw.
I think Vedalken Orrery is great for someone watching game nights to be like, oh man, that was a blowout. And then they start experimenting with doing stuff on other people's turns that they normally couldn't do. And then they'll be like, well, I don't really need Orrery. I'll just play Mystic Snake to do that. Or I'll just play Stifler.
No way, man. You get to flash in Felidar Sovereign at the end of someone's turn and win the game.
I think it's a great training card. And I think if you're an intermediate player, you kind of think that card is the best card ever. And then once you sort of progress beyond that, you're like, I understand that there are situations where it's good, but otherwise maybe it's a little bit overrated. So I think it's great for teaching people to go from beginner to intermediate. And I think Game Nights is really good for that. So I'm not, as much as I think it's funny to poop on Orrery, I think what they are doing with that card is teaching a lot of people to play Magic better, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
I think
Please invite me to be on Game Nights.
I think you guys really suck at shitting on a card, first off. And I think if...
I got one queued up, buddy.
Vedalken Orrery, the truth is, it's used for people with a complex who feel like they always need to have something they can do in the game, have an excuse to leave their man up so they can do those things.
Hey,
Jesus.
guess what?
That's shitting on people.
That was my favorite Magic card. My favorite Magic card was Profit. And I
of course, because you felt like you were always in control, right? Because you felt like you were always in control. Because you felt like you could always do things. Yeah, exactly. That's why. Because you're one of those guilty people that has the complex. No, it is his fault.
It is my fault.
It's everyone's fault who plays those
cards.
cards.
Hundreds of dollars worth, and he went, "Oh no." That's not true. He didn't.
He
tell
gave
me
you the
He
cold
could have
shoulder.
warned me and didn't. He said nothing.
All
right.
The coldest shoulder ever.
Marcel, did you have a suggestion for a card to shit on?
Yeah, I'm gonna shit on Scalding Tarn for be $18.
There's a real shit.
Why didn't you get them when they were printed? We told you to on this podcast.
What, when they got it went down to $50 or what, 45?
It was like $40, man.
Marcel?
Huh? I just want to finish out my set of fetch
Oh,
cards.
don't worry about it. Most decks you don't even need them for. Like I'm playing High Tide and Legacy, and I was like, man, I really the deck calls for 4 Scalding Tarns, and I realized, I already have Flooded Strands and Polluted Deltas. They do the same thing. Like, there's so few times when you actually need the Scalding Tarn.
Yeah, well, I got Storm. I got a Storm deck built right now. Those are the 4 cards that I need.
Well, that's unlucky.
Then you do need them.
Buy them then.
2011 because
For all those paper Magic tournaments that you're currently playing.
I should have bought them then. Yes. I wasn't Paper Magic then. Yeah, it was all.
Yeah, that's true. He was only on Magic
2011,
Online.
you should have just bought a couple of collector's edition sets. And
no kidding, right?
2011. I should have bought Bitcoin in 2011, right?
Yeah, I mean, you can't get it the woulda, shoulda, coulda. The reality is, Scalding Tarn's $80,
Right now,
and until it gets to the reprint, it ain't going down.
Yeah.
No, it should be $80.
I'm a firm believer that land bases should be about 20 to 25, max out 30, and it should be reprinted until you get to that price. Because no matter what,
I agree with you.
If you reprint it aggressively, the card will dip to that price and it will climb back up.
And
Lands
we will sell
always
more of them.
appreciate.
Right, as a vendor, totally agree with you. In fact, I agree so far to the extent that Wizards needs to get over this idea that everything has to be in a cycle. It's okay to put Scalding Tarn in a set with some other lands and call that good, because that's the only way you're going to keep these prices down. Because every time you have to wait until a whole cycle comes back around, you end up with
There's the Ryan we know and remember.
What?
You start out super reasonable, and then you're like, here's some shit.
No, why is that bad?
A chalkboard with strings pointing between different things. It's like, there's definitely an Eldrazi in the next set.
Ryan is
There is no Carol in HR, Jason.
Ryan is the
Fetch lands. Yes, thank you, Ryan. They should reprint Fetch lands. What if they just reprinted Scalding Tarn in the Planeswalker pack? And you're like,
no, I'm not saying in a Planeswalker pack. I'm saying and Scalding Tarn's a bad example because all the fetches are good. They all need to be reprinted. But there's plenty of times when a particular card gets missed because they always want to reprint it in the cycle, and they always wait for
the creature land
cycle.
Here's what they could do: FTV Scald with Scalding Salamander and Scald and Scalding Tarn.
Scalding. You used to have Scalding Tongs too to go in there.
Scalding Tongs. That's like your grandmother buying you one of those knockoff at the mall Super Nintendos. I got you a Super Xbox. Oh, Grandma.
Thanks,
Scalding
Grandma.
Tarn, not Scalding Tongs.
In 30 minutes, we're all going to have Scalding Tongues.
Stop, DJ, stop it. We're here. You're not allowed to do that.
Ugh.
All right, I've got one.
Speech forever.
I've got one queued
I thought
up.
you were going to sleep.
You got to have a good one. I know you.
I got one queued up. Let's talk about fucking Curse Catcher. And how it's the worst. Curse Catcher is the worst Curse Catcher in existence right now.
It's in the worst deck, that's for sure.
They printed Judge's Familiar, and I thought, oh, that's neat. It's like a Curse Catcher. Oh, but it flies? Well, that doesn't feel super fair, but all right, I guess, whatever. Do-do-do, la-di-da, fucking Mausoleum Wanderer. I look at Mausoleum Wanderer, and I just see everything wrong with the world. Like, this isn't fair. You get to be the tribe that has flying all the time and be really good, and you get the best Curse Catcher ever printed, and Curse Catcher is the worst Curse Catcher ever printed? Modern Merfolk decks aren't even playing Curse Catcher anymore. It's so bad. How is this possible, Wizards? People literally call them Curse Catcher cards. They're not like, oh, it's a Mausoleum Wanderer. They're like, it's a Curse Catcher variant. But Curse Catcher's the worst one. It's a travesty, and I have relayed these concerns directly. It's possible I launched this verbatim at multiple members of the play design team.
You know what? It's very possible
Wizards is
that
hearing you
your
out, dog.
vigor is the reason why there is not a different Curse Catcher.
Wait a second. No, I think they tried to answer your call. They gave you the answer in the Mist in M19.
Mistcaller sucks. Mistcaller is useless. This is bullshit. But you know what? I've yelled at multiple members of play design. We're going to get there.
But you know what Mistcaller ensures? That you won't get another one-drop Merfolk for at least 5 years. So
no, man. No. They're going to get tired of hearing me.
They're going to reprint Kosi's Trickster.
Look, bro, I like...
Print Marcel Skulldugard.
I like play basketball.
To make sure
this is what's going to happen. Next time I play basketball with Paul Cheon, every time...
now he's name-dropping. Stop.
Every time... Well, he's a good basketball player. And this is who I play.
He's a basketball player, and so am I, supposedly.
Every time I score on him, I'm going to go, that's for not printing me a better Curse Catcher. I'm just going to back him down to the basket relentlessly.
Say that twice per 1 hour game?
You know what? No, here's what I hope. The first time he bats one of your shots down and just smashes you in the face with it, I hope he comes back and says, and I'm banning Lord of Atlantis next time.
If Paul Cheon ever blocked one of my shots, he is welcome to say that.
Oh, please.
So DJ,
make that happen.
What card are you going to shit on?
Fuck Cyclonic Rift.
Oh yeah.
This segment's brought to you by Squatty Potty.
I hate Cyclonic Rift because it should be banned in Commander. And
that's true.
It is a one-side... People are like, oh, but it's Blue's board wipe. You have to let... Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know Evacuation and River's Rebuke and all these other...
Aether Gale. Come on, we got Aether Gale.
Aetherize, fam. Aetherize.
Aetherize is good.
Aether Spouts.
Yeah, anything restricted. That'd be better
anything aethery.
Yeah.
Yeah, basically.
All these other blue wipe effects that exist, and people think that the end of the world's going to happen if Cyclonic Rift gets banned. It is the most popular card in the entire format behind Sol Ring. There are
That's
more
pretty
decks
I
that
would
play,
agree. Yeah.
There are more decks that play Cyclonic Rift that play Island.
I believe that.
So there are blue four color decks that are like, I can't play Islands because my mana base is weird enough, but I need my Cyclonic Rift.
Well, the reality is Cyclonic Rift should not cost a single blue to
I agree.
overload.
If that
That's one of the many problems.
Story.
Don't you like your Commander games taking 20 minutes longer for every Cyclonic Rift cast? I love it.
Really care.
There's 4 people at the table and the game takes an extra hour.
No, I'll just go play Legacy. My games take 1 turn.
I think the rules committee needs to get a little more aggressive, but
hey guys, guess what website I logged on to?
Is it squattypotty.com?
Cookie Clicker!
Oh, no.
All the throwbacks.
Ryan, don't you have a card that you want to shit on? Or you have
So I have a handful of cards I want to shit on.
Of course you do.
I haven't been on the cast for a while, so I haven't got to complain about this. I don't think. Maybe I did. But all the cards in black and green that aren't Deathrite Shaman, screw those cards for getting Deathrite Shaman banned. Because now I have to pick up... Yeah, no. Abrupt Decay, Liliana of the Veil.
I'm sorry, are you complaining about the Deathrite Shaman banning?
Yes.
That everyone knew was coming?
Because now he has to find one of Odious Trow in Japanese foil.
Yeah, he understands. I just, like a week before that banning, I finished my Legacy deck. Japanese foil, it was gorgeous.
You're an idiot.
Ban it. What?
Odious Trow was good already, man. You were happy on Odious Trow.
Everyone knew it was getting banned.
I have had my Deathrite Shamans
MTG
forever.
Ryan. Good to see the future.
No, and not everyone knew it was getting banned. Like no.
I knew it was getting banned.
I thought they wouldn't give in to peer pressure of players who don't want interaction in their games.
It's true because like it was the whiniest people.
It is like there is no reason for that card to be banned. I will still hold by that, but that's a whole different argument. I just don't. And it doesn't even matter anymore. I found
Corbin have that argument with Paul Cheon when he's dunking on him or whatever.
I found the Slither Muse. I'm good, or the Slither Head. Excuse me. I'm good. I have the card, but now
Slither had that thing from Return to Ravnica.
Yeah, you
neat
only have
deck, bro.
You only have
That's
three
better
options
than Odious Trow.
Not necessarily. It's the same card though. Like,
what is this stupid deck?
Odious Trow has a possibility of
it's Spanish
blocking.
Inquisition. Corbin, get with it.
Why is Slitherhead in it?
Because you need a card.
For it.
You need a card that you can Summoner's Pact for, costs 1 mana, is black and green, so that you can be able to either Summoner's Pact for it, put it on a Chrome box, which gives you the ability to Summoner's Pact into black mana, or to be able to play it and cast Culling the Weak on it, which is why it has to cost 1 mana, and then it has to it just has to be some sort of creature of that.
Okay, I don't care.
And there's only 3 cards in the game that allow you to do that, and Deathrite Shaman is the best one. And because you run a Singleton Bayou in your deck, the smartest one to play is the Deathrite Shaman, because sometimes you get to go turn 1 Bayou Deathrite Shaman, and your opponent doesn't put you on combo, so they play very differently into turn 2, and then you actually get the mana off your Deathrite Shaman.
I mean, if you're raw dogging your Singleton 1 land and not,
they're not
going to put you on combo.
It's a 1 on like 100 to 150 game.
Okay,
but like,
I don't care at all. I'm sorry
it does
I
become
asked.
a percentage point.
I'm sorry you asked too, Corbin, because I already knew. I've had these conversations at great length on 5-hour car rides.
I knew he played that stupid deck, but I didn't know this was still a thing.
I'm working on a second deck now. I picked up a playset of Miscut High Tides at Gen Con and a playset of Miscut Ops. And so now High Tide is going to get Solidarity. For those people who actually know the old deck name is now getting built. So if anybody's got any Japanese foil Snapcasters
it hasn't been
or
called
misprinted
Solidarity
ones,
since it ran Solidarity.
I know, but it's still Solidarity. I mean, it's like Spanish Inquisition. It's not the same deck as it started off as either. It used to be 10-man walkers, but it's different now.
Mister, I don't know why people are buying a hat talking about send me your Japanese foils. Oh, man.
Wait, so why was the deck called Solidarity? Isn't that like a shitty Urza's Saga or Urza's block common?
I mean, that was just how the deck worked back then.
Creatures you control get +0, +5.
How does it relate to High Tide is my question.
What?
No, that was Spanish Inquisition.
No, Spanish Inquisition. Wait, what are you talking about?
You said the deck.
They're talking about the card Solidarity and what it actually does. Your creatures get a +0, +5.
You said the deck used to run Solidarity.
No.
I was joking.
Oh.
I was joking that it hasn't been called Solidarity since Urza's block.
But Solidarity was the name of a deck, right?
That is the name of the deck. You're not keeping up.
Right, I thought Jason was being serious.
At MTG Wiki.
I was being semi-serious.
I'm so confused.
It's a like turn 4 combo deck that goes off. It's the only deck that plays reset. That's the reason reset's worth money.
Okay,
you can only play it on your opponent's turn. Everything in your deck is instants. It's a combo deck that gets the backup of Force Away.
Did it cast the card Solidarity?
No.
That's why is it named that?
The only lands in the deck are fetch lands and islands.
So why is it called Solidarity?
You'll never know. Why is Cheerios called?
God, this is so stupid. Legacy's so stupid.
It was called Solidarity because you didn't
not
play.
Everything was called
no,
the colors that it was.
It was called. It was called Solidarity because your opponent didn't know. Like you were just like Island Go. You weren't playing the same game as your opponent, and so Solidarity because you were playing a separate. Like you're playing your own game.
I'd call that Solitaire.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's Solidarity is like it's like a
yeah. Legacy players are the worst, man. This is why all their naming conventions.
Oh yeah, they're the worst.
Everything mid range like Corbin does when he's doing coverage.
I named Bridgevine, bro.
Even though it's
I named Bridgevine last week.
Mono red aggro.
It has a lantern and it has a control.
Is it? Weren't you though just the one who sent me a question or sent us a question? Is it still mono red aggro if there's 4 scrappy scroungers in it?
No.
Who sent that?
Why would I possibly ask you anything relating to Magic?
That sounds like a thing you would ask.
Jeez, burn.
Someone
this
asked
has turned
that
into
recently.
a classic episode, which is to say, all our current patrons are like, "Why am I listening to this?"
Yeah, you're gonna lose. You're gonna go shed all your Patreons. You're gonna go back to the numbers when we were back on.
Yeah, we're gonna be back at $1,100 with fucking chip scars in our mouths.
Whatever. Let's talk about some GPs.
301, and we're gonna use your Patreon money to do it.
Yeah, let's talk about GPs moving forward with Ryan here while we have him on before we get into the chips at the end of the episode. Ryan, you're talking about GPs are changing a little bit. Obviously, we know under Channel Fireball things have sort of become better in some aspects. Some people might complain about other aspects of them. So tell us what you're
monopoly as everyone wants to think it is.
Tell us what you're talking about with vendors, though.
So there's been a major shift here in like the last 2 months. The vendors have been cut in like half from the first half of the season to the second half here. For example, this upcoming GP this weekend, I think there's only 4 vendors in Providence. Now, part of that's because there's LA the same weekend. But, I mean, before this, last year, you didn't see a GP with less than 10 to 12 vendors, really. It just didn't exist. And I think the last 3 we've done now have had less than 10 vendors.
What do you attribute that to?
I mean, most of it is just the fact that it's very difficult to, A, compete in the room if you're not one of those first couple of booths. And because the way they set up the pick system, like the more GPs you do, the more you get rewarded for doing those GPs. So unless you're able to do every GP, it's difficult to keep up and be able to compete with the big guys. And I think just the general cost of the events as well. Like, you have to pay the best of the best numbers when you're in that room, and you're paying so much money to be in that room in the first place. Like, why compete with that?
We've been talking about this for years, though. We've been talking about this for literal years about how GP vendors keep dropping out. But
and we just kind of finally hit that brick wall, I think.
I mean, new ones keep showing up.
What does that mean for them? Does that mean that dealers are more inclined to pay better because there's less competition? Are they inclined to pay worse?
Probably the opposite.
Are they going to run out of money on Friday because they're...
Now, that has been a thing for us. I mean, not to state like the vendor's position, like whether or not they have cash, but I mean, there's definitely been a lot more of vendors running out of money at the past handful of GPs. I mean, part of that is just, you think it's going to be a smaller GP, you don't necessarily bring as much, and then all of a sudden it's slammed. Milwaukee was like that for us here pretty recently. And then other ones are not Milwaukee, is it?
Minneapolis.
Minneapolis, there you go. I always get those two mixed up. And the other part of it, too, is you've just got so many events that you're chaining back to back, like, you have to be able to budget for this. And so... with 6 vendors, it's just a lot less people to sell to, so people are definitely going to be more stressed on their money. But then also, these smaller guys, they just weren't... I don't want to say they weren't able to keep up, because, I mean, they could have used a lot of the same tactics that the bigger guys have to been able to move cards, but when you're only bringing in so much money, it's a lot harder to compete, because you can't just create this really strong list, because you'll run out even quicker. You might be out Friday afternoon if you did that, whereas you got to stretch your dollar out, and sometimes stretching your dollar out doesn't always mean that you're actually going to get the cards you want. You're kind of getting the leftovers of what everybody else doesn't want. You're stuck with a bunch of inventory that doesn't sell.
So we're talking just for everybody at home. Vendors, when they go to GPs, don't usually make money selling cards, right? Everyone sometimes complains about the price of a card on the floor, but GPs usually exist for vendors to go buy cards, correct?
Yes, yeah. It is mostly that. I mean, that's our purpose there. We're definitely there to sell as well. Not to plug the store or anything, but as 95, we definitely try to have the best room prices in the room. We sell under TCG on almost every card. So there is definitely, some profit that we're making from moving cards there, but most of it is just for a quick flip for us. Like, we want the inventory to take home for the most part. We really only look to sell the staples and stuff like that at the actual GPs themselves.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, where do you see it going from here, though? I mean, we see how it is at customers. I mean, do you think there's going to be 3 vendors at a GP come January?
I don't think it's going to be 3, but I think you're going to see this 5 to 6 carry through. I think a lot of the guys that have dropped off aren't looking to come back. And part of it is, just been multiple issues with the GP circuit. Part of it is just the player base is, I don't want to say dwindling, buying or selling at GPs, but there's definitely a very different crowd now that the floor traders aren't there. Like, you don't get the big dumps from people. It's, buy a small binder here, it might be a big collection to watch.
That's an interesting way.
These regular people.
Yeah, that's an interesting thing you bring up. Because Channel Fireball...
I think that floor traders were an interesting part of the ecosystem, and it was a mistake to get rid of them?
I don't... So as a vendor, I'm very split on that, because there are definitely positives that the floor traders bring. And I mean, I used to be a floor trader. I will, in some regard, go back to being a floor trader here in the future. But there's also a lot of negative that comes with the floor traders. Now, the one thing I will say is there's a lot of times when you get a casual player to sit down with you that otherwise wouldn't have to sell you those couple of cards on the list, and then you could see this very, beautiful binder of cards that nobody's touched in 10 years, and that's not a thing when floor traders are there.
Right.
So it is better for us to be able to collect those cards, because a lot of times the floor traders, even though they sell us some stuff, a lot of times they were taking that binder off the floor and they were going home with it. And that's what really became the issue, is that not that floor traders existed, but that so many floor traders were instead becoming TCG stores or doing things on their own, and you really were hurting the vendors in the room. And as much as people want to blame the bigger vendors for driving some of these other vendors out, floor traders were an equally big part of that for a while.
Yeah,
well, and remember,
I think there's a big difference between floor traders and floor vendors.
Yeah,
like
that's fair,
but it's
vendors,
difficult.
Yeah.
But it's not like you can differentiate those two people on the floor.
That's the
like
issue.
you have to mask go one way or the other.
How many
remember,
wheels does your suitcase have?
Yeah. Well, remember, people
Right.
lost their minds when Channel Fireball updated that policy. They're like, Channel Fireball says you can't trade on the floor of a GP anymore. They're ruining it for us, and they didn't even understand that these people are out there operating. And like you said, it can be good sometimes, but
you can still trade.
of course, and that's my point.
It's not dead. It's that there is a certain group of people that Channel knows are going to cause problems when they are on the floor, as far as like disturbing the ecosystem, and they watch out for those people, and it kind of cleaned itself up because the whole group just kind of quit coming. So that's
that's the thing. Is like people looked at this policy when they saw it online and thought this was this blanket policy. We have no idea how they're going to enforce it. All Channel Fireball did was create a rule that they specifically were aiming at the dozen people who they would see regularly at GPs.
That rule already existed. They just said, "Hey, we're reaffirming that we're
Right.
going to."
Well, they were cracking down on it when they got a hold of all the GPs. That was the difference, which is fine because they got to keep those people, the vendors who are paying them money, happy.
As nefarious as people made it out to be, and
Right.
they looked beyond.
No,
what
it wasn't.
It wasn't worse per se than Channel Fireball getting all the GPs.
and the thing about that too is, so I mean, and not to come to Channel Fireball's defense or anything, but the Channel Fireball store and the Channel Fireball events, I believe, are two different.
They're two different companies. They are two completely separate companies.
Because I know that Channel Fireball events, or the Channel Fireball the vendors have to bid on the events just like the other vendors do.
So I hope Cascade gets a chance to bid on them and get.
I hope so too. Honestly, I feel like Cascade could do a great job with
obviously,
it.
there were
time. Channel hasn't. So, like, Channel has messed up a number of things in my eyes. Las Vegas, I still will never get over. That way that Wednesday went down was absolutely inappropriate. They did fix it. They did fix it. I mean, it ended up working out extremely well for us. It's still the best day of a GP we've ever had, but we also had to fight tooth and nail to get ourselves in that room. But when you remove the major, like, hiccups of... And part of that's a learning process, too, right? I think that Channel has done a more consistently good job than what GPs were done before, but I do not believe that is to say that they are doing the best possible job out of all of the reasons.
I think that's a pretty fair criticism. That seems like a fair criticism.
Anybody in the position to do every GP is going to learn enough to do a really good job?
I know. I'm saying that
I
think Channel is doing a better job than the average GP from last year if you took all the TOs and combined them. But I do not believe that Channel is necessarily the best TO to run all of the events.
Well, they did. I'm sure there's an.
Pastimes, everybody knows that.
Hey, I like Pastimes.
I'm not trying to shit on necessarily any one vendor, and there are things people do and don't like about each vendor or about each one of the TOs. Pastimes is one I did have some issues with, and as a vendor, I feel like they kind of dropped the ball on a number of things. But that's beyond the point. That's what I'm saying is like, as an overall, because everything is run by one vendor, and because I believe Channel's kind of the middle of the road there for having the capability to do so, they are doing a very adequate job. That is the perfect word I would use to describe GPs this year, is they are adequately run. I think there are a number of things that can be improved on, and I hope they do move towards improving on those, and if they keep the contract, I hope they don't treat that as like a sign of safety and just kind of relax, because I think that's really what happened with TOs before, too. You have to keep innovating.
Because everyone had their sort of their region, and nobody really encroached on anyone's
region.
Right.
So people were stuck with one TO forever. We had Pez growing up, and they weren't the worst. So,
I liked Pez more than Pastimes growing up, but neither one was that great.
There were certainly some, I'm not going to name names, there were some TOs I've liked working with a lot less than others. There is I think it's probably healthy overall that there's, like Ryan said, a bidding process for how these things go down, and we don't know what the length of the contract is or anything like that. But it at least will keep competition.
That would be good if it's yearly.
I'm going to take a guess that it is not yearly, given the commitment that has to be made.
I think biannually is perfect. And I believe that what we're seeing right now is going to be a good system. 2 years allows not only room for that person to get into the groove and be able to make things work. We'll see how Channel does next year. Everything may be very smooth because they got all their learning lessons out of the way this year. But
that's fair.
At the end of that second year, not only should have Channel have learned, but this also gives their competitors an idea of exactly how the tournament series was run and what they would have to do to be better to make it run.
I mean, they had to create a company from the ground up, right? They literally had to hire employees at whatever point they got the contract and learn how to do this massive across the world sort of thing.
We don't have to suck up to Channel Fire.
Not sucking up to anybody, man. That's just the reality.
They're doing fine.
Yeah. All right. So is it
hasn't ruined Magic for anybody, so that's good.
Is it chip time, guys?
Keep up the good work, Channel Fireball, and keep following me on Twitter. That makes me feel like a real person.
I think it's chip time.
I think we're gonna do pick of the week, or.
Oh yeah, Ryan's forcing us to do pick of the week.
We don't have to. I already said Rainbow Veil.
No, our Patreons who go to patreon.com/Brainstorm Brewery and give us $10 per month, which is only like $2.50 per episode, get access to a spreadsheet where we update our picks of the week and our Breaking Bulk picks on Monday night when we record, and they have them 4 to 5 days earlier than everybody else. So that's a service they pay for. So we should give them both a Breaking Bulk and pick of the week because they support us. Thank you so much for being our patrons.
So if you got 5 episodes in a month, it's only $2 an episode, right?
That's true.
That's correct.
Oh man,
that's correct.
Man,
it's value.
Pretty good.
That's 20 cents to have the $1 access to our Discord. That's nothing.
The Discord is pretty fun too, actually. Discord is.
Discord's gotten real dank lately with the really,
that is a good way to describe it.
Yeah.
Oh, Throne of Geth spiked.
Yep.
Oh Jesus, Corbin!
Remember when I called that one? I called that one.
You
Go
called
me.
it after it spiked, but not after it spiked again.
What are you talking about? I called it like 2 weeks ago.
Because you're breaking bulk.
Hey,
yeah,
I'm
no.
the one that actually had a deck with Throne of Geth, so I don't want to hear none of that.
I did it. I also just bought an impression for my deck, and apparently it spiked too. What the heck? Omnath Locus of Rage spiked? I'm sorry, I'm catching up in real time
same
here.
As Gitrog Monster. The exact same reason, the exact
Yeah, it's just been not the same time.
Listen to so that Corbin can tell you what you already knew.
Oh, man.
Hey, man, I just hadn't looked at the cards. These spiked literally today. Get off my back.
Yeah, I didn't know about
Corbin,
Omnath. That's awesome.
If your brand is going to be talking about cards after they spike and then taking credit for them, there's somebody out there already doing that, so that's kind of his brand.
Okay.
Hey, this allows some
like
seepage.
What spiked a week ago?
Omnath.
Not according to mtgstocks.com, which says it spiked yesterday.
The source.
I mean, it went from $7 medium to $15 medium literally today, man. Like, I don't know what to tell you.
Wait,
Throne
what
of
card?
Why is he talking? I don't know.
Omnath isn't $15 medium.
According to...
It's $8. Go on TCG Player. 734 is the market price.
Yeah, Ryan, we said median, bro.
$9.75.
Enhance.
I'm okay, man. I already told you where I got my information from. If you want to take it up with MTG Stocks,
I'm going to the place where they actually draw the.
Okay, you're welcome to take it up with MTG Stocks if you want.
Why is this
why
episode's been real contentious? I don't like the vibe.
I just like going to the place where the information's actually
Corbin's
at.
been arguing with Ryan about everything, ranging from the price of a card, which has a set value based in fact, to who T-Swift is dating, and I feel like that's a bad group dynamic. The 5 of us should not get together, and I blame DJ because we did this for hundreds of episodes without a problem, and then DJ comes along.
That's true.
We're fighting.
We never argued with Ryan before DJ came
I
along.
didn't know if you guys were friends.
Yeah, we never argued with Ryan until DJ came along.
Yeah.
I don't need any new friends. I got my old friends like Joey D, who finally won a PK.
Oh my God, nobody cares.
He's going to be sponsored by Brainstorm Brewery.
Wow, that's
yeah.
so
He's
mean, Corbin. Joey D has been a
anyway.
very avid and great fan of ours for years.
When he gets on the pro tour, then I'll be excited.
No, you know
No,
what?
you
I owe
won't,
Joey
'cause
D
you're a
because I
bah
skipped his
humbug.
wedding to go to Vegas. So
I'm a bah humbug. Wow.
So yeah, the man's gonna be he's the second coming of Ray Perez according to
Oh man.
us and our sponsorship of him.
I don't know about all that, but
Ray Perez is currently out there, so he'll probably be at the same RPTQ. So that'll be interesting.
probably.
So yeah, congrats, Joey D. I shit on you 4 weeks in a row for always losing in the top 8 of PPTQs. You finally did it. You're a sponsoree of this podcast. Congrats. Continue wearing the shirt and using the mat just like you did when you weren't sponsored. And, thanks for being a bud, and thanks for supporting this podcast, and thanks to all our patrons for supporting us.
All right, let's do pick of the week. Jason's just trying to put off this chip.
I'm not trying to put off the chip.
Yes,
I'm
you
drunk.
are. You're doing
I'm
a
drunk.
good job stalling.
Definitely try to put off the
I think
chip.
it's a good idea. I drank enough that I think it's... Dude, I had a 1 pint of a Belgian quad, so I'm feeling no pain right now. I don't think this chip will affect me whatsoever.
All right, well,
All right, we'll see.
famous last words.
No one's died from a chip.
All right, let's do pick of the week
Last
here.
words.
Wait, George Bush almost died from a pretzel. What if I choke on this chip like George W. Bush?
I mean, did you do the things he did? There's such thing as instant karma. I think you're all right.
He also painted some pictures of soldiers coming back from the war feeling sad, and I feel like that has redeemed him somewhat.
No, all I gotta say is, in perspective, all of a sudden he looks a lot less worse.
Right?
That's true. That's true.
Mission accomplished,
You're
everybody.
shitting on half our listeners.
Mission accomplished.
Mission accomplished.
Pick of the week, pick of the week, pick of the week. Time for the pick of the week.
Well, I was gonna pick Rainbow Veil, but I got another one. Am I supposed to just tell this card, or
Yes.
am I supposed to guess
Yeah.
it? Okay.
Comment it.
No, make us
Isolated
guess.
Watchtower. Has
What?
that card been done?
What card?
Isn't that the new
Isolated
Didn't it come out
Watchtower.
this week?
card?
Commander 18 card, yes.
No, we
Okay.
haven't done a card that came out literally last week.
Okay, so Isolated Watchtower is a $2 card.
Sure.
And the main reason I like this card is because it gives any color that is not already ramping the ability to do so if any opponent in your game is ramping. And as any control player knows, it is really miserable sometimes to have to jam a bunch of mana rocks in your deck and not be able to put enough answers. And I feel like a card like this, while easily tutorable with things like Teleria West and stuff, also give you the option to be able to keep ahead of your opponent. And so it taps for a colorless. You can pay 2 and tap it to scry
Yeah,
1.
this card's
Then you
kinda
reveal
cool.
the top. Then you may reveal the top card of your library. If it's a basic land card, it's revealed this way. Put it into the battlefield tapped. Activate this ability only if your opponent controls at least 2 more lands than you. If
This
any
is a
opponent controls.
really, really, really bad scrying sheet.
I want to
Scrying
like
sheets-
this, but the basic
The
only
scrying
kills
sheets
it
doesn't
for
put
me.
it into play though, does it?
Oh, it has to be a basic land? I'm
Yeah.
out.
Yes.
I'm out.
Yeah, basic
I-
land, and they have to have more than you. And
I'm out.
I don't
out.
necessarily think that's bad. And again, I think that everyone's is thinking about
Now,
these 3-4
I
color
think they
decks.
made this card better, and then it was too good, and then they erred on the side of making it too bad, and now it's too bad. So
Right.
it's too bad. This card's too bad.
I don't necessarily think so. I think this is
You think it hits 5? You think it hits $5-6 that it needs to hit for you to make any money buying it too?
It's colorless, absolutely.
All right, he said
It's
yes. There you
colorless,
go.
but
I
it only
mean,
goes in like monocolor
myriad
decks. Though.
landscape.
Hey, he answered the question, guys. He's allowed to be wrong.
Yeah,
He's
I mean,
allowed to
that's
be
fine.
right too. He's gonna. Oh man, can you imagine if he's gonna be right on this? So
MTG Ryan strikes
I'm
again.
not saying this is going to be a tomorrow thing either. I'm talking like this is probably a year down.
6-7 years down the road.
No,
He gets
no.
one
Hey,
OBS
this
issue
will get
correct, and now he's king of
reprinted
the hill.
twice in the next 7 years.
All
I
right.
mean, obviously, a reprint is a sign.
Who's next?
But-
Who's next? Marcel?
I got one. I
Yeah.
actually don't. Did you say Marcel?
I did.
I got one.
I did.
Oh well, by all means.
No, go right ahead. It's okay, Jason.
Oh, okay,
Actually,
okay.
I'm having a hard time deciding between which 2 versions of this.
Marcel's is Scalding Tarn anyway, so
Yeah, that's true.
More like Scolding Tarn.
No,
'cause
no,
he's scolding
okay.
wizards for not reprinting it.
So mine's right now is going to be Gataxian Probe.
Yeah?
This is a cool
A card that
for
just got
Modern.
banned in Vintage.
Yeah? Okay, good.
Yeah. I got it in my Storm deck right here, and I got to take it out because...
From the vault, pick of the week.
Oh, my God.
Now, you know when
So
Get
what I
Pro
gotta
gets
replace it
unbanned, it's going to go right back up, and everyone's going to be surprised. So Marcel's playing the long time.
All right, Jason, go ahead.
Okay, I don't know which version of this to pick for the spreadsheet, because this is a $2 buy-a-box foil and a $4 set foil.
Okay.
I don't really hate either version of Scrap Trawler.
You know, I've thought about that too. I do think the deck it's in is going to get banned, though.
KCI.
Yeah.
But, well, Scrap Trawler is also useful in EDH. That's why I initially picked it. Like, we did the set review. I said this card's nuts.
Yeah, it is very good. I agree.
Yeah, the last time you picked this card was 9 months ago.
Okay. What? Oh, shit. Okay, I got a different one. Inspiring Statuary, then. Since I've already picked Scrap Trawler, I think Inspiring Statuary is never going to get cheaper. And I think with Brutaclad and what is the guy that makes Thopters? Psy Master Thopter.
Psy Master Thopterist.
Yeah. I think your artifact tokens being able to tap and help you cast your spells. Inspiring Statuary it's like a buck right now. It's the cheapest it's going to be. It's not going to even go down at rotation because it couldn't get any cheaper.
I think this is a good
Inspiring
pick.
Statuary is a $5 card long term. I think load up now while you can.
Do you like foils at $2?
Yeah,
I like foils more than I like
foils it is.
regulars.
I like foil Panharmonicon at $9 also.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, so like just write foil Inspiring Statuary at 2 in the spreadsheet.
All right.
Like anyone who listens to this podcast gets way more value than just that, but spreadsheet people are going to get a little something. So thanks for being a subscriber.
So my card here is one that no one's ever going to want to pick. It's called Sandworm Convergence.
Okay.
This was the card that I had the most fun with when playing in Standard this past year. So this card is fantastic. And I don't think it's ever going to get reprinted again. And there's things you could do with this card. It closes games out. So I think at 50 cents, it's pure bulk. Get your card, sit on it. Over time, it'll be a $5 card.
I do think it won.
All of these at 50 cents.
Yeah, I wish the thing about Sandworm Convergence is a little bit too much mana to be like decent in like EDH. Like we just saw Estrid come out, right? And Estrid kind of behooves you to build sort of a cage of these like propaganda / ghostly prison / sphere of safety. I kind of like this in that build, but I think it's a little bit too much mana, and I think if you can't make the cut in that sort of a build,
it's gonna be hard.
Despite it's tough. I don't think it has a deck yet, so
no, it probably doesn't have a deck because you're correct. It is,
but I don't see how it hits $5 without having a deck. But I like Sandworm Convergence, and anyone who's had one resolved on the table across from them knows how fucking miserable it is to try to win a game of Magic through a Sandworm Convergence. I get it.
I will say that it's doubled in price from a year ago, from 25 cents to 50 cents. Just throwing that out there.
It'll be $5 before it becomes reprinted.
You know what? Woo! I'm not going to bet against this.
All right.
I won't bet against it.
Good. All right, I've got one here.
DJ will bet against it, but I won't.
Remember when we did Battle Bond, and I liked the lands the best out of it to hold value, and they have held value. But more than that, we've seen a couple of them start to tick up in price, the blue one specifically. But I'm going to go ahead and pick Spire Garden this week.
Spire Garden is a red-green one?
It is, under $5, and the others, like Morphic Tide, has been climbing up. Sea of Clouds, I believe is what it's called, has been climbing up.
Is it Morphic Pool or Morphic Tide?
Morphic Pools, I'm not sure what I said.
You don't even know what the cards are called.
Sorry, man.
I just don't like the name.
I don't know what any cards are called.
Spire Garden, though, is my pick.
It doesn't resonate as like a red-green card to me.
I agree, but whatever. I mean, it.
Then how did I guess it based on the name?
Because none of the other 4 ones are like correct. The other 4 lands are like noticeable.
So I got it.
Well, to be fair though, DJ, when you think the word Spire is most often attached to red cards in Magic, and Garden is pretty clearly green.
It is. Spire is mostly used for red cards, but the word Spire itself for me doesn't evoke red.
Okay, sure.
Well, Lightning Bolt Growth tells you red-green, and Lightning Bolt Growth is not a good name for a land either.
Sure. Anyways, it's the one that hasn't started climbing up yet, whereas the others have. So I'm going to go ahead.
Just not buying boxes because we're seeing $18 on Arcane Artisan. We're seeing $25 on the.
No one touched
White
Battle Bond. They probably underprinted it on top of everything else.
Yeah.
In fact, I don't
see
even
that.
think we have any at the store. And it's not like we sold a bunch of I don't know. It's basically going to do nothing to doubling season, that's for sure.
So I think the set kind of accomplished what it set out to do, which was increase card availability,
Correct.
but not decrease prices. So
Well, it decreased prices on a lot of
to
stuff.
increase card availability actually succeed. Hey man, I super love Battle. I like Conspiracy too. I still like Conspiracy too.
Well,
I like Battle Bond. So hey, if the lands are worth $10 a piece in a year, great.
well, like I mean, it did accomplish its thing. Stuff like Nirvana Revenant went from 20 to 5.
Nirvana
Say
Revenant?
that card again.
Oh my gosh, it's because I'm scared of this chip.
Hey,
Can't think straight.
I got a new complaint.
Nirvana Revenant is now $5. All right, DJ.
My pick of the week is a card that you can either play in the Estrid deck to mess with a bunch of other people, or you can have your opponent wreck you with the Estrid deck, and then you go buy one of these, and the game becomes a lot more manageable. It also works against the Saheeli deck. Aura of Silence has gone a while without a reprint.
Yeah, I really kind of thought it would just get jammed in the Destro deck.
Yeah, and it didn't. And it's like 3 to 4 right now, but it's from Weatherlight, and it's only gotten like 1.
It's got it's
Two?
gotten a couple.
It was an uncommon in
It's like
10th
an
edition.
or something like
Hey,
that. Right?
it was an uncommon in 10th edition, and it was in Commander 2015.
Yeah.
That's it?
And it's an F&M promo.
No. It was in 10th, Commander 2015, Weatherlight, and there was a F&M promo.
Yeah.
That's what I just said.
I knew it had
did
the
not say
Commander
anything about the
printing, but
F&M
I forgot
promo.
about 10th edition, and I did not even know it had an F&M promo, so that's cool.
Well, the F&M promo is $16.
The F&M promo just spiked, as a matter of fact, actually.
Of course it did.
Like,
Okay.
just
You know
spiked,
what?
yeah.
None of us on this podcast said shit about it, so shame on us. I was thinking Sterling Grove and not Aura of Silence, and that's where I got messed up.
Well, I mean, it's not like that was wrong. But DJ's right. Aura Silence is climbing pretty steadily here. It's gone from 2 to 3 over the course of the past month. I wouldn't be surprised to see it at 5.
Yeah, and I think this card is a good example of a lot of the complaints about this year's Commander products, where there just wasn't a lot of value reprints. And I'm not even talking like, oh, we didn't get another Wormcoil Engine. There's just a lot of like $3 to $4 cards missing from these decks that just could have been...
Well,
And the problem is when those cards don't get reprinted, like Get Rog Monster and
they spike.
Omnath didn't, they spike just on principle. So like they have to realize.
well, the thing, though, is with
when we don't print a card, that sends a message to the market also.
When-
They're hiring somebody to do that sort of analysis, and they have to have a master's in econ, so I can't even apply for the job. So
the thing is,
somebody smart gets that job.
with Aura of Silence, I think they specifically did not want to print cards that hosed the other decks people play out of the box.
Enchanter's Bane.
I don't know what that
one's
does.
different. Like,
I mean, Aura of Silence. Imagine just playing Aura of Silence, and then your opponent, when you're playing precons, is playing the enchantment deck, and now everything they cost is super taxed, and whatever they play that is good is going to get killed later. Like that would not lead to a very fun experience. I understand why it wasn't in the
there's
deck.
a difference between cards that will deal you damage based on what is in play versus cards that don't let you play Magic.
Oh yeah. It's not at all surprising that Aura of Silence
Well,
wasn't in the
Sterling
decks.
Grove then would have been like a. I don't know.
Sterling Grove would have been a good one. I agree.
I don't know what sort of constraints they're under. I don't know what Hasbro being in the mix puts on them. I don't know what their job is like. I just think they could have done a better job, and I think they will next year.
Yep. All right, is it chip time, guys? Think it might really be chip time now.
I think that should be like a separate recording, right?
Yeah, but it's gonna go at the end of
We
the
should
episode.
probably
yeah.
like outro this podcast in a constructive way.
Okay.
Cut everything I'm saying right now. And then
Okay. All right.
So like let's do a
Okay,
do a good
then shut up.
outro and then don't tell me to shut up. My fucking daughter told me to shut up today. You know what happened?
You didn't do nothing.
I couldn't do shit. What am I gonna do? Spank her? And then she's got a sex fetish. I'm not spanking her. Like I know you're not supposed to hit your kid, but like you're definitely as a dad not supposed to hit your daughter, right? Because like I don't want. Oh man.
This research says you should not spank kids.
No, every girl that I've been with that asked me to spank her had a like daddy issues. So like I just don't. like on top of the research, like anecdotally, I don't think.
And now we all know that.
But I kind of think that like I'm screwed either way, because like she's gonna be in her dorm room with her boyfriend, like, oh, I just need something to send me over. Take my iPad away. Yeah, tell me you're not mad, but you're disappointed. Yeah, it's what I need.
Oh man, how long have you worked
Even
on
if
that
I don't
one?
hit her, I think I'm kind of screwed no matter what.
Wow.
What are you gonna do?
Is that your ongoing bit? Are you adding to it?
Yeah. All right, everybody.
Does that sound rehearsed?
It
did, yes.
Because I had multiple tags ready.
2 years ago, maybe it would have been very nice, but now, no, you can do better. Come on,
kills.
Jason, strive. You're doing
that
well.
bit kills. I don't want to hear it from you.
Man.
I'm tired of your shit. Anyway, this is episode 300. And they're going to continue on.
This is Sparta!
But you may... Yeah, oh, God.
Is this where we get to leave now?
Yes, we're out of here. But you're going to see more of me or Ryan, and we'll come back on. I think DJ is going to get elevated to actual host.
No. Whoa!
Oh, no,
Don't
Marcel.
What?
You can't be making changes like that.
What?
I said he might. Keyword
Who's he
is
going to
might.
replace? Corbin?
If we could figure out how to make that a Patreon goal,
Corbin.
look, if we figure out how to make that a Patreon goal,
hold their self-esteem together, so I'm fine being just relegated.
Marcel will pretend that he'll make DJ a permanent host, but he won't add him to the group text chat. So I have to have two separate Brainstorm Brewery
There's
chats.
no way we can't add anyone to that group chat. Granted, it's not like he gets all the old texts.
No, Brian, it's not your old phone where like it would crash if we had 2 messages in a day.
That's true.
Brian, can you get a new headset? You're like, sorry, my phone caught fire because you sent me 2 text messages.
You know how to handle the signal from Oklahoma.
yeah, that's it, man. That's find a way to turn it back on me.
Engage in those days.
Yeah, to know how to process the binder twine.
This is episode 300, part 1, everybody. Thank you for listening. By the way, stick around. There's going to be some chip eating.
Let's not stick around. It's going to be a separate recording. What are you talking stick around?
It's going to be released as part of this, man.
Yeah. It's going to be a separate recording.
Jason?
I don't want anyone to see me cry.
Shut up.
Oh.